Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. With me is Dr. Zainal Ariffin Ahmad. He's an invited speaker for our program, teaching and learning program for our new lecturers of University of Science Malaysia. So Dr. Zainal was sharing his experience and wisdom this morning. So maybe I would like to have a brief conversation with Dr. Zainal. So Dr. Zainal, thank you very much for sharing your experience and wisdom with our young aspiring academics in USM this morning. So maybe if you can share very briefly the essence or the gist of what you have shared with our young lecturers. What are the main messages for them?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Prof. Karim. It's a pleasure always to come back to USM. And this time around, I decided to use Korean drama or K-drama to drive the point home. What I've done is I've selected 5 Korean dramas in 5 different focal areas. One is to look at in terms of how do the people reinvent themselves. The idea is they need to look at how to do a storyline of their academic career. Then they need to look at understanding themselves. What is the philosophy of teaching? Where are they coming from when it comes to teaching? Then they look at applying themselves, whereby after going through the 2 weeks program, they need to be able to pick and choose what are the one or the strategies that will be workable in their classes. And then evaluate themselves. One of the things that we need to do also is that we always have to do a plan, do, check, action, whereby in OBE, they need to be able to improve on whatever approaches that they decide. And lastly, to prepare themselves. And I think understanding the call by the Vice Chancellor, these people are our future and Anugerah Akademik Negara, our future Nobel laureates. And the idea here is that if they have a storyline about their career, this will be helpful for them to prepare their career.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Every time you come here, the previous one was late last year with a different batch of young academics. Every time, last time you came with different characters. I remember it was Avengers. The previous years was Yoda and so on. And this time, another surprise. So because you're talking about the what can we learn from the K-pop is it?
K-drama.
A K-drama, we call it. Okay, I'm not a Korean drama fan, so I don't know. So you wear this costume.
Okay.
Is it something of a surprise, or the element of surprise to add to the teaching, or there are other reasons behind it as well?
The most important aspect about why I chose different characters, if you are familiar with mengimarahkan ataupun to socialize education, I want to be able to demonstrate that you can teach and use different medium in terms of passing the message. In this case, I chose K-drama, and because one of the things that you'll find in K-drama, in any series, the salient human element or human messages is there. How you interpret it. And I've been using this since 1998, using movies. So what I find is that I chose K-drama as a medium. The element of surprise comes in because they expected somebody just off the cuff share their experience. I want them to be able to take things within context. And also to look at things out of context, whereby what does K-drama has to do with what we're doing as young lecturers. And one of the things I hope that they'll come across is that actually, whatever that we go through has a lot of relevance to the teaching that we practice.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds very interesting, because personally I also believe great educators, great teachers are unpredictable. So this is what actually, to me, that's very good, because I stressed this point last week actually. So when you come today, I know that you will bring some surprise to them. So that's basically kind of reinforce the point of being unpredictable, because I think every time we step into the classroom, the students kind of very curious.
Yes.
What's the next thing that you have to do, that you will do in the classroom? You know, the kind of crazy things that really would bring the best kind of learning experience, memorable learning experience to our students.
Yes.
Maybe another question, Dr. Zainal. Now, the current situation in the academia, we expect an academic or a lecturer to do so many things. That's what they say. You know, the teaching is a given, must do, but there's also research to do, consultation, community services, and so on. How do you think, I mean, what would be your advice to our young aspiring academic in terms of kind of balancing? Is there such thing as work-life balance or anything to that effect?
Okay. Yes. One of the things that is challenging to any young academic or academic in general is to achieve that work-life balance. One of the things I found is that when teaching becomes something that you do in life, it's not something that you have to do. So that's where the balance comes in. For example, whenever I go out to watch movies last time, as I'm watching the movie, I'm looking, okay, how can this be applied in my class? You notice also, like when you do research, you want to find out that what is it out in the society that we can bring into our research, our labs, that we can actually help the society. So I am always a firm believer of socializing teaching. So teaching does not becomes unique or a specialty, but it becomes something that facilitates learning and facilitates this process. So we are not seen as elitists. You know, we are seen as people of the society.
Okay.
Yeah. So
maybe last words or advice for our young Padawans.
Okay.
Something that you can kind of words of wisdom
Words of wisdom.
for them.
Okay, inshallah. One of the things I hope, if you notice in the session, we talked about Nobel laureates, we talked about Anugerah Akademik Negara. It's not so much about getting the award, it's about the mindset. As an academic, you need to have that perseverance, you need to have that curiosity, and you need, most importantly, to have that energy that transpires to the people that you're trying to reach out to. And that, I think, is more important. Getting the award, being nominated, and also being considered as a Nobel laureate may be a bonus. So I'm not here to recruit for those awards. I'm here to get them to get into the mindset, you know, and that mindset will help them along the way, inshallah.
Inshallah. So thank you very much, Dr. Zainal, for your sharing, for your time, you know, willingly to share your experience, your wisdoms with our young academic. And from me to the young aspiring academic, especially those members of young aspiring academic Facebook group, stay hungry, stay crazy, stay foolish, and try not
Just
do. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.